Straight ahead on WBKB News at 11. The Alpena City Fire responded to a residential fire on State Street over the weekend. Plus, Five for Friends prepares to kick off the third annual Five for Friends campaign this week. And it was the opening reception last night at the Besser Museum for this year's Juried Art exhibition. We'll have those stories plus your local weather and sports. The news that affects you starts now.
From Rogers City to Tawas City and all points in between. This is Northeast Michigan's award-winning news team. We are your source for news, weather, and sports. We are WBKB News at 11.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Neil Liwanag. Over the weekend, the Alpena City Fire Department was dispatched to a residential fire on State Street. Renters occupied the residence and all of the tenants were out as soon as the fire erupted. Fire officials immediately arrived on the scene and found the fire behind a wall-mounted heater in one of the rental units with a huge amount of smoke throughout the building. The Alpena City Police assisted with the incident and the fire was quickly extinguished and contained. It was then determined that the wall-mounted heater was the origin of the fire. The structural damage was minimal and there were no reported injuries. Friends Together is inviting the people in our community for the third annual Five for Friends campaign to help those dealing with cancer. Friends Together is a nonprofit organization that offers support and assistance so that no one in our community will have to deal with cancer alone. The event will be at their office located on the corner of State and Prentice Streets. Complimentary refreshments will be available to the public and people in the organization will also be available to answer any questions about how to get involved in our community. The Five for Friends campaign welcomes new and returning teams or anyone interested in making a difference for those in need of assistance.
We're really hoping to get some new teams to come in the door. We'd really like to see some youth get involved in their community. We have great people here that support us. This community is a great place to live. But we're looking forward to figuring out how to get some more youth involved so they learn at a younger age how to give back to their community.
Five for Friends campaign kicks off on Thursday, October 29th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Friends Together Center. For more information, please call 989-356-3231. On Saturday, the Besser Museum hosted the opening reception on the Juried Art exhibition that showcases paintings from our local artists. The museum has celebrated the Juried Art exhibition for over 40 years, and this year the event brought together over 70 artists along with about 180 pieces of artwork. It was $15 for Besser Museum members and $25 for non-members to enter the competition. The first place winner received $300, while second place won $200, and third place took home $100. The Juried Art exhibition is a way for artists to present their talents and artwork for the community of Alpena.
This is really important to the community and to the museum for the simplest fact that we do live in a region where we have a lot of artistic talent, and this actually allows residents of the state and the area to have an avenue in which to display or present their work to the public. And for a lot of people, that actually gives them the chance to get feedback.
Mark Bynes of Alpena took home first place with his oil painting titled Deutschland. All the paintings will continue to be on display until the end of the year. Yesterday, the Zonta Club of Alpena teamed up with Myers Fashions for the first ever Fall into Fashion Luncheon and Style Show at the Fresh Palette. Zonta Club of Alpena is a non-profit organization that strives to empower and enrich the lives of women in our community. For $25, people in the community enjoyed a delicious lunch, dessert, and beverage, and they were also treated with a fashion show. The first annual Fall into Fashion fundraiser was a special event for the community, and of course, it was all for a great cause.
It's important to the community of Alpena and our surrounding areas because we fund various service projects that enhance and empower the status of women, not only locally, but also worldwide.
If you would like to support and help the Zonta Club of Alpena, you can visit the website at alpenazonta.com. Well, Halloween is next Saturday, and the Altar Society of St. Gabriel Catholic Church kicked off the festivities with a Halloween party at the Caledonia Hall in Spruce. For 45 years, the Altar Society of St. Gabriel Catholic Church has held this Halloween party for the people in the community, and particularly for those with special needs. For free of charge, attendees danced the afternoon away and enjoyed hot dogs, snacks, and pop. The society understands that helping others in the Black River community is their main focus, and what better way to show their love and support than with a Halloween party.
You can tell by looking at them back there that they are smiling, they love it, we love it. We get our spirit is inflamed, you might say, with them being here. It almost brings you to tears.
The Altar Society of St. Gabriel will hold several fundraisers for the upcoming holiday season. If you're interested in helping, please call 989-471-5121. Coming up next on WBKV News at 11, find out why a well-known Las Vegas hotel is going through a major makeover for its birthday. All that and more, next. Take the video as soon as possible when I say schools or service dog, whatever. That doesn't, yeah. All right. Welcome back. In state news, the U.S. Supreme Court is being urged to take the case of an 11-year-old Michigan girl with cerebral palsy who switched schools after her service dog wasn't welcome in a Jackson County district. The Supreme Court rejects thousands of cases, but the American Civil Liberties Union believes this one has merit because appeals courts have given different interpretations of laws protecting disabled children. In 2009, Elena Fry's family obtained a dog to help her open doors and retrieve items, but the Napoleon District refused to allow Wonder at school. Officials relented a bit in 2010, but many restrictions were placed on Wonder. Elena and her dog transferred to Manchester schools. The question for the Supreme Court is whether families must go through administrative hearings before filing a lawsuit. And if you're missing the rich colors of fall, there is a website that can help you with that. Shipfoliage.com will send you authentic New England foliage for $19.99. The cost includes 3 preserved leaves that the company says will last for years. Caesars Palace is getting a $75 million upgrade for its 50th birthday. The Vegas Hotel and Casino will overhaul its original Roman Tower and will rename it the Julius Tower. Renovated rooms will be ready for overnight guests by January 1st. The new sign-up season for coverage under the Affordable Care Act begins November 1st, and consumers can start browsing on healthcare.gov before the week before. The upgraded website features a new calculator that estimates total costs based on expected medical needs. Premiums are expected to go up 2016, and the tax penalty for people who remain uninsured for next year will rise to $695 or 200.5% of taxable income. If you're heading to the pump, GasBuddy.com and AAA of Michigan helped us find the highest and lowest gas prices locally and across the state. The lowest price for gas in Alpena is coming at $2.29 at Meyer. The highest is $2.32 at Shell. Across the state, the lowest price at the pump is $2.03 at Auburn Hills, and the highest price is coming in at $3.09 in Trenton. There's still much more to come on WBKV News at 11. Kyle Logan will be in the sports, and I'll be right back with your full weather forecast. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining us. It is now time to look at the weather. All right. You will see today was your high of 55 degrees and your low was 38 degrees. Normal was 52 and your normal low was 34 degrees. Your record high back in 2012 was 77 degrees and your record low back in 1989 was 19 degrees. Sunrise was at 8:03 a.m., sunset at 6:33 p.m. Looking at your current conditions, it's currently 36 degrees outside with a humidity of 92%. And looking at your current radar, notice the clouds hovering over Alpena, which leads us to tonight. Partly cloudy with temperatures in the upper 30s and northwest winds at 5 miles per hour. That's here tonight. And partly cloudy again, 38 degrees, northwest winds at 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow we'll get a chance of showers with highs in the 50s. And tomorrow night, that rain clears up, but it will mostly be cloudy with a low of 40, southwest winds at 5 miles per hour. And now taking a look at our extended weather forecast. Tuesday, partly sunny skies with highs in the lower 50s. Wednesday, we'll see some showers with highs in the mid 50s. Thursday, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers and highs in the upper 40s. And finally, Friday and Saturday, things clear up with partly sunny skies with lows in the upper 30s. And now it's time for today's photo of the day. Today's photo was sent in by Marlon Smith of Alpena. Now, this is a photo Marlon took of an elk in Gaylord. What a fantastic photo of an elk enjoying a beautiful day in Northeast Michigan. Thank you, Marlon, for sending us this photo. If you have a photo you would like to send us, email it along with a short description to news@wbkb11.com. In your Health Watch, more than 15 million children in the U.S. live without food in their homes. The American Academy of Pediatrics says hunger is an ongoing health risk that can cause lifelong impact. For the first time, the group says all children should be screened to identify households that may lack adequate food. A routine blood test may help identify seniors suffering from dehydration. New research found that screening blood for sodium, potassium, and glucose can reveal if older people are drinking enough fluids. And researchers may have found another use for Botox. The drug known for reducing facial wrinkles may prevent irregular heartbeat when injected into fat surrounding the heart after bypass surgery. In national news, we are learning more about the victims and the suspect after yesterday's tragedy at Oklahoma State University's homecoming parade. A young woman is accused of driving through a crowd of spectators. Brian Webb has more.
Blurry footage shows the moment of impact. A Hyundai Elantra plowed through a crowd of people watching the OSU homecoming parade Saturday morning in Stillwater, Oklahoma. 25-year-old Stillwater resident Adacia Chambers was arrested immediately after the incident. She's been charged with driving under the influence. Her father says he does not believe Adacia is a drinker.
She's not a bad person. She's not an alcoholic. She doesn't drink, and she wasn't drinking, to my knowledge.
Graduate student Nikita Prabhakar, 2-year-old Nash Lucas, and 65-year-old retired professor Marvin Stone and his wife Bonnie were killed. Another 47 people were injured.
It's hard to imagine that you're coming to a game and all of a sudden it turns into a tragedy with people losing their loved ones and their lives are changed forever.
Police are now waiting on blood tests to determine if Chambers was under the influence of drugs or alcohol.
Chambers could make her first appearance in court Monday morning. Sports is coming up next, and Kyle Logan is here with a preview. Kyle?
Neil, tonight in sports, the Sprint Cup boys were finishing up round number 2 at Talladega, and there was some big news out of the NBA. Also, the Lions were back at Ford Field looking to make it 2 in a row. Did they get it done? To find out, you gotta come on back. Sports is next. There was a little more buzz surrounding the Detroit Lions in Ford Field on Sunday afternoon. After Jim Caldwell and company got their first win of the season last week, there was finally hope that the team might turn things around. A new Sunday brought a new NFC North opponent into the Lions' den, and the goal was to walk away winners of 2 in a row. The Lions welcoming in the Minnesota Vikings, second meeting between the two teams this season. Matthew Stafford and Calvin Johnson with the big hookup to get the W over the Bears last week, and fans saw much more of that early in this one. Lions' first drive, Stafford drops back, and he finds Johnson deep downfield. He gets into Vikings territory. A beautiful catch on the run on 3rd down. A few plays later, the jump ball. Megatron seemingly the best in this situation. He makes the grab, and the Lions are on the board first. After a Minnesota field goal, Detroit is back at it. This time Stafford is searching. He's going to roll route right side. Finally finds Eric Ebron over the middle, just across the goal line, and the boys in blue go up 14-3. The Vikings would rally, now 17-6. Teddy Bridgewater, the play action. He finds his big man Kyle Rudolph, and you add a field goal a couple minutes later. The Vikings go into the half down 17-15. Second half, more Minnesota. Bridgewater now out of the shotgun. He's going to fire it deep downfield, and Stephon Diggs makes the over-the-shoulder catch to give his team the lead, and they would not look back. Adrian Peterson quiet most of the night, but not here. He takes the carry off right side. He's going to burn a safety, and he's off to the races. He gets across midfield, and he tells Glover Quinn, "You aren't man enough to tackle me." He's taken down inside the 5, and it would lead to a field goal. Lions now down 11, 2 to go, 4th and goal. Stafford looking for Theo Riddick, but it's off his hands. The Lions turn it over on downs, and they go on to lose this one 28-19, falling to 1-6 on the season. Afterwards, the head man put it pretty simple. The offense couldn't get it done as the game went along.
Couldn't generate enough points offensively to make a huge difference, and particularly from about the second quarter on until the end of the ball game, it was difficult. So, you know, they did a nice job. You got to give credit to them as well.
The Lions will now be forced to regroup once again. They still find themselves on the bottom of the division. Next week, Detroit will be outside of the country as they meet the Kansas City Chiefs in London. Jump to some NASCAR. Sunday marked the final race of the contender round. The site, Talladega Superspeedway. Joey Logano took the first 2 races of the round, basically meaning there were a bunch of teams taking the green flag in a must-win situation. The CampingWorld.com 500 at Talladega. We're going to move to the end of the race. Didn't have a caution in this one until past the halfway point, but everyone knew the big one was coming. Logano out front, Dale Jr. in second, needing a win, and a green-white checker standing in his way. Remember, just one attempt at this restart, a decision which many fans didn't agree with, and they saw those fears come to life. The leaders get to the line, but there's the big one mere seconds after. NASCAR is forced to call for the caution, and the race would be over. The 4 of Kevin Harvick, he was complaining of engine troubles. He could not accelerate, and that would cause pandemonium. Many drivers thinking it might be on purpose. But when it was all said and done, Logano was in front when the yellow flew, and he sweeps the second round. It took officials a long time to sort everything out, but here are your final 8 moving on. Joey Logano sweeps the contender round, so of course he's the first name on the list. He is followed by Carl Edwards, Jeff Gordon, who, remember, is in his final season. And closing out the top 5 are Kurt Busch and Brad Keselowski. The final 3, Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, and Kyle Busch. Dale Earnhardt's second place finish, not enough. He is ousted along with Ryan Newman, Matt Kenseth, and Denny Hamlin. Next week, the Eliminator round begins at Martinsville. Here's a quick look, though, at the Xfinity Series standings. They had this weekend off. Tight atop, Chris Buescher still holding on to first, just 27 points ahead of Chase Elliott. Regan Smith is third, 33 points back. And Ty Dillon is in fourth, just 36 points back. And rounding out the top 5 is Darrell Wallace Jr. Next week, the Xfinity Series moves to Texas. It was a dark day within the National Basketball Association. Minnesota Timberwolves head coach and president Flip Saunders passed away early Sunday afternoon at the age of 60 after losing a battle with cancer. Saunders, a beloved figure in the basketball world, began his coaching career in the NBA with the Timberwolves back in 1996, making various stops, such as right here in Michigan with the Pistons, where he led Detroit to 3 straight Eastern Conference Finals. Saunders recently returned to Minnesota in 2013 as team president and part owner, and has also coached the team last season. In August, Saunders announced he was being treated for Hodgkin's lymphoma, and it was said to be very treatable. Flip had every intention on coaching the team this season until a setback in September placed him in the hospital, and recently it was announced that he would miss the season. Saunders tallied over 1,000 wins in a 35-year coaching career, and he will be dearly missed. So Neil, obviously, I mean, our thoughts and condolences out to the Saunders family. He certainly was a beloved figure in the basketball world, and that young team in Minnesota, they're going to be playing with heavy hearts this year.
Absolutely, and tough loss for everyone in Minnesota and Detroit as well, because he led them, like you said, 3 straight NBA Eastern Conference Finals, and he's a great coach, great man, and he'll definitely be missed from everyone here at WBKB News, and definitely back in the NBA as well too. And he was one of the guys that evolved Kevin Garnett to the big ticket into the big champion. So.
No, great coach.
Thanks, Kyle. Coming up next on WBKB News at 11, a group of superheroes pay a tribute to a fallen hero by visiting sick children at a Washington, D.C. hospital. Stay tuned. Welcome back. In Washington, D.C., a number of good people dressed up in superhero costumes are carrying a legacy of Lenny Robinson, known as Route 29 Batman, who visited children dealing with severe illnesses such as cancer. Here's the story.
A legion of superheroes carries on the legacy of the late Lenny Batman Robinson.
Hi, Jason. How are you doing? Hey, Spider-Man's here to see you, and I've got lots of cool stuff for you, okay?
Spider-Man and more than a dozen superheroes visit hundreds of sick children at Children's National in Northwest. It's what Lenny Batman Robinson would have wanted and what he would be doing if he were alive today. But the world-renowned Route 29 Batman died in August after his Batmobile broke down and he was hit by a car. He had partnered with the Hope for Henry Foundation and together for a decade put smiles on sick kids all around the globe.
We are all in this together. It's a lot of fun, and his memory is now living on through all of us.
I think his legacy will continue on as long as we're here and supporting him and supporting his beautiful angels.
I want to thank Lenny's parents, Larry and Ilona Robinson, for sharing their beloved son with us.
Lenny's father was on hand as his son was posthumously given the first Hope for Henry Superheroes Award.
It's overwhelming. He gave their parents hope, and he gave the children strength, and where he got them from, I don't know, but I'm glad he did.
Are you coming into the next room with me?
Christy. I will.
Larry Robinson, who would sometimes accompany his son to hospital visits in the past, today partnered with Spider-Man.
Jimmy, how are you?
Good, nice to meet you.
I'm Spider-Man.
That was really sweet of them. They love it. To see superheroes, yeah.
One of the things I know that he would really love is that we can continue his work with him in our hearts.
So Kyle, that's a definitely heartwarming story, seeing people dressed up in superheroes and giving these kids hope.
Yeah, no question. I mean, carrying on that tradition is something that all those kids, they look forward to. They look forward to the superheroes coming and giving them, some of the best days of their week, some of the best times that they're going to have all day because, I mean, they're going through so much pain and so much adversity. And it's a great story to see not only these kids overcome these odds, but that anyone can go and, and help them out and make their day that much better. It just means a lot.
Yeah, it shows that there is a little superhero in all of us, right?
No question. All superheroes come every shape, size, and they certainly mean a lot to those kids.
Absolutely.
But remember, you can read more about our broadcast stories and get the scoop on other news items online.
Just visit WBKB11.com for sports, weather, news updates anytime, day or night.
Or add us on Facebook at facebook.com/WBKBTV.
Well, that will do it for tonight's show. Wake up with Erica Fernandez tomorrow morning at 6:30. Good night, everybody.